Hello, Mandela, and welcome to your Wednesday maths lesson. Today we are going to be recapping on halves. Our learning objective is, can I recognise a half? In today's lesson, we will be recapping our learning from year 2 so that we are able to know that splitting a whole into two equal parts is called halving. To know that 1/2 is written as half. To know what the denominator and numerator of a fraction mean. Here's our lesson starter for today. Once I've read you the questions, I want you to pause the video and have a go at answering them on your whiteboards or on a piece of paper. Question 1. Find the difference between the number of visitors on Wednesday and Friday. So on the table, you need to find how many people visited on Wednesday and how many people visited on Friday. Then you need to work out the difference. Question number 2. Alex has a £20 note. She buys a purse for £12.49. How much change does she receive? Remember back to our unit of work on money and think about the different strategies that we used to find the change. Use the strategy that you feel most confident with. Question number 3. What is 320 divided by 8? Question number 4. Partition the number 492. So you need to write how many hundreds are in the numbers, how many tens are in the number, and how many ones are in the number. Pause your video now and have a go. Let's look at the answers. Question number 1. Find the difference between the number of visitors on Wednesday and Friday. So we know that on Wednesday, 132 people visited. And we can see that on Friday, 321 people visited. So our calculation would be 321 subtract 132. So the difference is 189 visitors. Question number 2. Alex has a £20 note. She buys a purse for £12.49. How much change does she receive? She would get £7.51 in change. Question number 3. What is 320 divided by 8? The answer is 40. Partition the number 492. So we could write this as 400, add 90, add 2, because there are 4 hundreds in 492. There are 9 tens in 492. There are 2 ones in 492. What is a fraction? Pause your video and have a think about what a fraction is. Let's find out what a fraction is. This is how we can write a fraction. This fraction shows me 1/2. We call the number at the top of our fraction the numerator. Numerator, numerator, numerator. And the numerator shows me how many parts there are. So this shows me that there are 1 part. Let's look at the bottom number. This number is called the denominator. Denominator, denominator, denominator. And the denominator shows me how many parts make the whole. So in this fraction, 2 parts make the whole. Complete the sentence. We have a picture of a cake. The whole cake is split into how many equal parts? Remember that the word equal means the same. How many equal parts is the cake split into? The cake is split into 2 equal parts. So I would write 2 equal parts. Then it asks me what each part is worth. Each part is worth a half. So here I would write half in words. This can be written as. So here I need to write this as a fraction. So I would write my half just like this. It tells me that altogether there are 2 equal parts, and each part is worth 1 because each part is 1 part of the whole. Which pictures represent half? Write the letters on your whiteboards. So what I want you to do is look very carefully at the pictures. On your whiteboards, I want you to write down the letters that show equal parts. Remember, equal parts are the same. Pause your video now. Let's have a look together. I'm going to go through each picture with you. If we look at picture A, we can see that the square is split into 2 parts that are equal. So picture A shows me a half, and I'm going to circle that so we can remember. If we look at picture B, the circle is split into 2 parts, but are the parts equal? No, they aren't the same, so they are unequal parts. If we look at the rectangle in C, we can see that our rectangle is split into 2 parts. Are our parts split equally? No, they are unequal because they are not the same. Let's look at our triangle in D. We can see that our triangle is split into 2 parts. Both parts are equal. Both parts are the same. So it shows me a half. So I can circle D for us. If I look at E, again, I've got a circle. If I was to fold this circle in half along the line, both parts would be exactly the same. So they would be equal. Let's look at F. We've got another rectangle which is split into 2 parts. If we look very carefully, we can see that the parts aren't exactly the same. So we can see that they are unequal. Let's look at our square in G. Our square has been split into 2 parts. If we were to fold them over, we would see that they were the same, so that we would know that they were equal parts. If we look at our triangle in H, we can see that it has been split into 2 parts, but the parts aren't equal, so it doesn't show me a half. So you should have written on your whiteboard letters A, D, E, and G. If you have some paper at home, you could cut out these shapes and practice making halves with them. Our next question, which pictures represent a half? Write the letters on your whiteboard. So remembering exactly the same, we're looking for two parts that are equal. So they need to have the same number of objects in each part. So let's look at A together to see if we have equal groups, to see if we have represented a half. Let's look at this group. How many are in this group? Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's look at the other group. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it shows that half of 10 is 5. And we know it is a half because both groups are equal. Both parts have the same number of objects in them. Write down on your whiteboards the pictures that represent a half. Pause your video while you do that. Let's have a look at them together. Let's have a look at B. If we count all of the dots, we know that our whole number is 4. If we count how many are in each part, we will find out how many are in each part. Count with me. 1, 2. 1, 2. So we can tell and we can know that half of 4 is 2. We know we've shown a half because each part is equal. Let's look at the picture of the apples. Let's count how many apples we have all together to start with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So our whole number is 13. Next job is to see if we have equal numbers in each group. So let's count how many apples are in each group. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's count our other group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So one of our groups had 6 in. One of our groups had 7 in. Our groups are unequal, which means it doesn't show me a half. Let's look at this picture here now. Let's count how many triangles there are all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 triangles all together. Let's look at each group. We can see that this group has 3 triangles in and half a triangle in. This group also has 3 triangles in and half a triangle. So the groups are equal because they represent the same. So if we were to fold them over, our groups would be exactly the same. Let's look at E and count how many there are all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So altogether, it is divided into 10 parts. Let's see how many blue parts there are. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's count how many white parts there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 4 blue squares and 6 white squares. So they are unequal. It doesn't show a half. Now it's your turn. Choose between activity 1, activity 2 and activity 3. Then you could challenge yourself with the challenge questions. Finish the sentence below. So you have to copy the sentence into your book or onto your piece of paper, just like we did for our first example together. Once you've done it for the strawberry and the pizza, I want you to draw your own example and write the sentences to match your picture. Activity 2, draw the shapes and colour half of each shape. So you need to draw the shape into your book and then colour half of each shape. For some of the shapes, you will need to use a ruler so that you draw them very neatly. Then, once you've done that for activity 2, only half of each shape has been shown. Draw the missing half to make the whole. But if I was doing question A, I would draw the other half. So I've got to draw the other half of the shape, and you would use a ruler to make it really neat to show that both halves are equal. Activity 3. How many apples need to be circled to represent one half? So you need to draw pictures to show me this. Mo, Kate and Dom run a race. Mo is more than halfway through the race. Kat is exactly halfway through. Dom is less than halfway through. Show where each child could be on the line. Each picture represents one half. Spot the mistake. Explain your answer. To show one half, I would need to shade in 4 triangles. Is Mo correct? Explain how you know. Draw the picture and colour to show one half. If I correctly draw a vertical line of symmetry on a shape, this will represent one half. Always, sometimes, or never. Explain your answer. How many dots will need to be added to represent half of the blue dots? Explain how you know. Show this by drawing the dots. And for your challenge today, I would like you to draw some pictures which show me half of an object. I'm looking forward to seeing your work on Tapestry.